okay, if everything has gone according to plan, we should be live on YouTube. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Weekends with Avrona. And if you missed that kind of video, it was a members only video I know, but still, that kind of early teaser of what's to come, well, there'll be some changes because we'll be moving countries in August. So that's obviously a big thing. Also, by the way, I'm so sorry that you guys didn't get a video yesterday. I was in the middle of benchmarking. You can't really see it, but right here I have you can't see it, it's a shame. I have the Noctua AIO. I'm finally putting it, through all the tests. The problem is it's super difficult to actually benchmark anything thermal like that right now because of how warm it is. So you can basically only benchmark either really early in the morning or like late evening, basically. So that's been also what's been making that project so annoying. But hopefully, finally tomorrow, I'll get that video out. I have the 360mm. I've put in a request to also get the other one. So if you really like this video, I'll do like another one when I cover some of the other sizes and see how they compare. Because Noctua also offered them in 240s and 420s. I kind of find it funny that like, no one bothers with 120mm AIOs anymore. Which I don't know how to feel about. I think they can be very... a decent option. My very first AIO was a 120mm. They also had a 3700X, which has like a TDP of like 65 watts or something, so it's also pretty easy to cool. But still, I don't know, you guys let me know what you think. If like, are 120mm AIOs an endangered species for a good reason or a bad reason? Like, should they make a comeback or not? I don't know. So yeah, that video is coming out soon. Plus also got like they send over the fan you get with it as well. But still, the fact that this is taking up so much of my desk is one of the perfect examples of some of the changes I hope, because it's not just about the kind of any kind of like personal stuff relating to the move. I know you guys don't really care about that, and even I don't like fully care about that. I don't feel even as it's getting closer and closer, I neither feel any kind of sadness or anxiety about leaving the country I've lived in for 20 years and like starting my whole life over in a new house and relearning to live in Poland. Neither do I feel any kind of like happiness or excitement about going back to my home country or starting any kind of new chapter there. I just kind of feel like nothing either way. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but still, obviously the more important thing for you guys, and kind of definitely for me, because again I just can't bring myself to care about anything else, is just like what the effect is going to have on the work you see right here. So one of the big things is just I'll be creating from the ground up a space specific design just to make the best possible videos. I've already partnered with spoke with quite a few companies about like supplying stuff for that space as well. It's gonna be really awesome. I have no idea like how exactly it's gonna look like, but obviously the main thing is just bigger than this, right? So this right here next to me on my desk is where I benchmark everything, right? Where I move my test bench. Normally a test bench is over there, then I move it to here. Then there's also this tiny space where I do all my unboxing videos. Like if you've seen, like, one of the most annoying things to film is just the unboxing videos because of how cramped this little corner of my desk is right here, which you again can't really see, but if you watch any of my unboxing videos you know what I'm talking about. I've done like some things to try and mask how amateurish it can feel in some way. I recently upgraded to this right here, which is a Blackmagic Studio Micro Studio 4K G2, whatever order those words come in. I don't know, just the Blackmagic naming is sometimes so weird. Like, for example, how one of the massive cameras is called a pocket camera, which the one you're watching is from right now, even though it will never fit in any human pocket. But still, yes, stuff like this is, a great investment into that kind of unboxing video. But again, to really get the most out of the format, well, we're going to need like a proper separate space. Another thing you may sometimes notice actually when I'm doing these videos is a bit of a shake, like a bit of a wobble like this whenever I record anything from either this cam or the main cam. Again, that's just because of the way everything's set up. So hopefully, again, that will also be removed with kind of a space built from the ground up to support that. And then also, it's a lot of it also about the backgrounds, right? The background, when I'm filming this way, the background I think is decent with like the boxes and kind of the shelf over here where I have stuff like you know, there's a YouTube button Lego thing, PlayStation's version of Windows 8.1, like the Yoros little eagle thing, and a bunch of like other random knickknacks, and then like the motherboard box behind it, like the Ryzen poster over there, like the display poster, like that's fine. But then there's also things that I really can't do anything about, which again just kind of detract from the videos. Like for example, the fact you could see in this corner right here, usually this corner right here, right here, you can usually see like the edge of my TV alongside some of the cabling and everything behind it. Like that looks awful. The shelf as well, like on the one hand it's kind of cool, but on the other hand it's kind of again kind of garish down the left and kind of taking a bit too much space in the frame. And then when I'm filming over on that side where the closets are, which are the way I usually film for unboxings, I mean, again, it's like not the most exciting in a world. For a while, if you go back to some of my really old unboxing videos, I actually just use the green screen, right? Because I have a green screen there that's kind of just retractable from Elgato, and I've just been using that to basically get a better background. I stopped doing that for I don't even know why, because I thought it would just be cooler to have some of the consoles that like LED YouTube button and that wall of other stuff I have right there instead. I don't know, like let me know which approach you guys prefer there. So that's one of the things that also definitely needs work on. So that angle over there. So that's also something that's going to be addressed in the studio. Basically have a couple of directions just to stay varied. I don't want everything shot in just one direction, one background. I want to have like one background for one type of content, another background for another type of content, or like certain styles of content, and basically go back and forth just so it doesn't get too stale. Oh, and also another thing I've forgotten about this background right here. If you remember, like even probably like going back like a year ago, also had some like purple LEDs there, just add some more character. Yeah, those have stopped working ages ago, and because of the move, I couldn't really even be bothered to fix them, because like I need to like redo the whole thing, probably get some new LEDs or something, and I just couldn't be bothered because again I knew that a move is coming. So that's another thing that's hopefully going to be done right properly on a new space. What else? Speaking of space, another issue with doing any kind of unboxing in this area is that if I want to do something really big, well, my PC is right here. So then what I have to do is literally unplug everything, pull my whole PC tower out, put it somewhere on the floor, and then we then record. And I have a video coming up on something so big that it arrived at my place in a Pelican about half the size of me. And I didn't really want to do that video here because again of the space constraints. It's a video on something so cool, so rare, that I really wanted to do it full justice at a new space. But I thought that again, it's so rare that I don't think I would be able to get the company to loan it to me in Poland. I don't think there's even a single unit of this thing in Poland, maybe somewhere in Germany, maybe, but again it was like super much easier to do with the contacts I already have at that company in the UK. And it's such a really cool upcoming video, so definitely subscribe so you don't miss it. Like the biggest thing ever that I've unboxed, even bigger than that Cyberpunk 2077 collection, which I did a couple of years ago when that game came out. Much bigger than that, so definitely stay tuned for that. Speaking of contacts with companies, I find it funny that when recently we went to Computex, whenever I told any of the contacts there that I'm moving, they're all like, oh thank goodness. Like they're all very supportive, but also for them the thing is that sending stuff over to the UK from mainland Europe is extremely expensive just because of the customs. Like, I remember a while ago, so all of the companies pay for the customs themselves, right? But there was like some issue, believe it or not, in the UK customs at a clearance section, and I got the letter saying that, oh, customs have not been paid for this item and you need to pay this much and this much, and my jaw dropped when I saw how much Be Quiet had to pay for. It was either the light mount or the dark mount, which I was sending over. I can't remember which one. They were just sending over a keyboard, right? And when I saw how much they have to pay in customs just to send me over a keyboard sample, I mean, across a whole year, that they probably spent hundreds of pounds in just customs to send me stuff. So that is obviously going to be a huge thing there. Another thing is just the closeness to everyone. so many, like, the thing is that even though we are, like, Avrona Media is a UK-based company, it don't really work with anyone UK-based anymore. Obviously, for a while, I did some, like, writing articles for, like, Geek and Media, for example, but that can be done, like, remotely anyway. But still, there's, like, most of the companies I work with are based in, like, Germany and Austria and that kind of area, and starting in Poland as well. And so obviously there's going to be a lot more convenient to do everything there. So I will be working a lot more closely now, I can tell you now. So Alpha Cool, definitely some really cool content coming with those guys. Tons of collaborations going with Alpha Cool. Thermal Grizzly, I spoke a lot with Roman, aka the Bauer, at Computex about some really cool plans. Like, he wants to basically show me around how things work at Thermal Grid. It's really awesome. It's going to be a really awesome video as well. Endorphy, we are based just next to Warsaw. Some awesome stuff with those guys coming up as well. So it's going to be very, yeah, basically just the amount of new opportunities there in terms of the distance is going to be also a lot easier. Though, of course, it's going to also make some stuff a bit more difficult, like, for example, actually getting to events. Because, like, obviously, when it comes to the connections, it's a lot easier to go to, like, say, Vegas or Taipei via the UK. There's just a lot more connections, a lot better connections, right? It's just quick flight down to Amsterdam or Paris, and then from there, we usually just went wherever we had to go. So it's going to be maybe a bit more difficult, or at least take a bit longer to get there. From Poland, but like not by much. Another issue, speaking of that, is to do with basically like air miles, because it's with how much we've been actually traveling for these past couple of years to places like Vegas and Taipei for all of these events. Like those miles have been racking up, and so we've been mostly doing that with the Sky Team side of things, just because that's been the most convenient for the past we've been mostly going to. But obviously the biggest priority for the Polish market and then for the neighboring German market is Star Allies, because that is where Lufthansa and LOT are. So that's also going to be like, do we go over to Star Alliance or do we stay in Sky Team? Like, try and find good flights. There are some good flights, right? So for example, via Copenhagen, because SAS is a member of Sky Team, so you could just go, and there's like good flights to Copenhagen, for example. So that's always an option as well. What else? Oh yeah, one more thing I want to talk about, and that is actually having space. Another thing I really want to focus on is like having space to actually showcase everything. So you see some things in the backgrounds of my videos already. Again, some of the boxes, some of like the really cool little swag items from guys like YouTube and like whatever else. However, there's also so much more that is just so cool, and it's either just stuck in one of the closets over there on a shelf, or even just on the attic, because there's no room for it anywhere. So if you watch those kind of videos recapping some of the cool things I get from like CES or Computex, like that Aorus golfing set, Gigabyte Aorus one, or like I don't know if I want are we brave enough to put that on the shelf given the reputation recently after that semi-final and final match. But basically when Lexa announced a partnership with the Argentinian national football team, they gave out this really awesome kit with stuff like these like gold branded coins. I don't think they're actual gold, they're actually packed like real gold with those little like plastic sleeves, not sleeves, like plastic little containers for gold coins. I don't think it's real gold though, but like, you know, with the logos of Lexa and the Argentinian national football team, plus also this like Stanley Cup from again co-branded there. Really awesome stuff that just does not belong to be stuck in the attic or anywhere like that. Stuff like also the My Whole PC Games collection, which has been growing a lot recently, trying to really invest in like big box PC games to show off in videos, do videos about. That whole thing is also just stuck in there. That giant Cyberpunk collection we talked about earlier, or even like PlayStation stuff as well, like this right here, like the press collection from Gran Turismo 4, absolutely amazing. Just a piece of real art in terms of collector's editions. You get the whole driving a game book telling you how the game was made, and then you get, ooh, I knocked the mic, so sorry. I hope your ears are okay after that. And then like a bunch of other stuff underneath there. Again, just does not deserve to be stuck in a closet, but it just hasn't been possible just because of the space. And that's one of the things I've always found kind of hilarious when discussing it with others about like maximizing the space in this room for doing YouTube videos. I remember so many times people saying, "Oh, why don't you just like record stuff at a wider angle?" If you ever notice in some of my videos why the angle is kind of, I won't say super narrow, but if I like emote a lot, my arms do get cut off in either direction. Well, that's because I cannot physically move the camera further backwards. Or again, talking about, say, having some additional stuff in the background, having some additional shelves with stuff in the background. Again, the reality is that a UK house, even like a better one like this one where we live, is very much not big enough for anything like that. When you compare it to, especially American houses, but even just like European houses, the average room is not that big for activity, and that is such a big problem with the space right now. It's just a complete lack of room for activity. Some recording sessions when I try and capture B-roll for a video get so annoying because I'm just tripping over everything. There's like just not enough space in where I'm sat right now for myself, for my chair, for the tripod, for the subject I'm recording. It like everything is just falling on each other so much because there just isn't space for any of it. So again, a whole dedicated studio space is really going to save that. So yeah, that is kind of what some of the plans are. Some of my pet peeves right now and kind of some of the ways to address it. Again, I don't know exactly how it's going to look. If you have any suggestions, do let me know. One thing that I recently saw, I would love to replicate it in some way. Maybe get some company to partner with me for this. Like this idea right here is so cool. I saw someone do like this Noctua branded wall, like really well executed by whoever this is on Reddit. It is done so well. Maybe I'll find a company who wants to do something like this. I don't know. Like again, I've spoken with some companies already to supply stuff like new desks, some of the new kind of equipment needed to make everything work there. But I mean, something like this would be really awesome to partner with someone. Maybe even Noctua. Like I've been recently also speaking a lot with Noctua, having plans with them for stuff. And again, I'm literally just doing Noctua area right now. So maybe I'll partner with them, or maybe like, I don't know, something like Endorphy, Alpha Cool, try and do something in this style. I think that would be such a fun project if I can actually convince anyone to fund this, because I mean it's so cool. People have been like talking about like, oh, this is just like in the comment section of this post, oh, this is like, how can you like a company so much? This is like such like bootlicker behavior. No, this is absolutely not bootlicking. This is amazing. This is absolutely awesome, and I have no idea why people have an issue with this. Like people have an issue with just putting a logo of a company in your house like this, like putting a little like corner. If you like a product so much, if you like a company so much, then definitely. And the thing about Noctua is just like the color scheme also does so much to make it such unique. If you had a company with a different color scheme, than just brown, beige and black, then obviously maybe it'll be a bit less fitting, but especially when you have such an iconic color scheme, but one that again fits in a house pretty well, then I don't think it's as bad, right? Because I mean, to be fair, it looks like maybe the rest of the space is also the same Noctua brown. This wall isn't, but if you look on the right hand side here above the door, that looks like it's maybe the rest of the room here is the same color as well. I don't know, but still, really cool idea. Something again giving me quite a bit of inspiration. If you guys know any other kind of projects such as this one, just to give me some ideas of what exactly the new space will look like. One idea I had that I don't think I'm brave enough to commit to it is this very like Y2K futurism style studio space. I don't think I'm brave enough for that. I think that could potentially look really cool, but I don't think that is going to be a thing. Again, maybe if I get like a really good idea on how to make it look. It's an aesthetic I'm a really big fan of, and I think it can be made to look just so awesome, especially if there's more focus on like the blues and the greys and the purples in that kind of direction. A lot of like curved, shiny acrylic surfaces everywhere, and maybe like I don't know, I don't know. I think that could look potentially cool, but it can also be so easy to mess it up if you don't know what you're doing. Like for example myself, so it's not something I'm very much committing to at all. But that's an idea. So yeah, that's basically everything for this episode of Weekends with Avrona. I don't really know what else to cover, so I think that's gonna be it. Like I said, I want to keep these shows varied. So if you guys also have any other ideas for like what you want to see, definitely do let me know. One thing I also want to do, and again, that's what's the new studio space is going to make possible, is a lot more keyboard workshop style videos, similar to that routing one I did a while back. Just grab myself a keyboard and some switches and just build away for like an hour and a bit while also talking to you guys. Like, it's still one of my favorite episodes of Weekends of Runner, just because of how chill it was. Just one task, building a keyboard, and just a really fun way to spend some time with you guys. So hopefully that's going to be something that's possible. Again, recommend me some brands you maybe want to see me do that with. And again, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Lots of really awesome things are incoming. Basically, that's the gist of this. And yeah, I better get back to finally finishing benchmarking at Noctua AO. Hopefully it's getting like cool enough in here that I can actually start. But anyway, that is about it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Weekends with Avrona. If you did, then remember to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all whenever I make next. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
I'll be praying this whole